So we are about a block away from the Portland Ice building. Over my shoulder, you can see an encampment where protesters have been occupying just a spot on the sidewalk. Today, there have been maybe 24 people, protesters, who come out here, they say, to provide moral support to people being processed in this facility and to bear witness to what the federal government is doing. These protests are really contained to about a 1 block radius. It is a very isolated part of town. There is a wide gap between the version of events here that you are hearing from President Trump.
Portland is burning to the ground. It's insurrectionists all over the place. The place is burning down, and they pretend like there's nothing happening.
What the city and state, including Portland prosecutors and police, say is these are very peaceful, very small protests, and that the city, which has a long tradition of political dissent, knows how to control crowds. That began a legal battle that continues right now. The state and the city sued the Trump administration. What we know from court records filed is that almost nightly through all of September, federal employees said, things are really quiet. We don't need your help. According to Portland police, federal employees they talk to use phrases like very low energy, there's nothing going on, the crowd is very small. That was in the days just before President Trump posted on True Social that he wanted to send the military into Portland. Things are definitely tenser here than they were before the president's social media post. When I talk to law enforcement, prosecutors, and elected officials, they all say they are very worried about seeing a repeat of 2020, when just as racial justice protests here seemed to be ending or at least becoming much smaller, President Trump issued an executive order allowing the use of pretty intense federal forces to protect federal buildings. That led to a month of very violent, damaging protests in downtown Portland that drew tens of thousands of people and led to a lot of violence. 2020 took a real toll on Portland. Homelessness spiked. There are still buildings downtown that are boarded up, and crime went up, as it did in many U.S. cities. What you hear from city and state leaders now, including in law enforcement, is things are getting better. At the same time, they all acknowledge this is a city that has problems. The mayor and the governor have both said if the federal government wanted to provide more help, say, helping them with rampant public homelessness, helping them find solutions to big social problems like fentanyl and drug abuse, they would really happy to have that. But that is not what the feds are offering right now.